Welcome, everybody, to the zoning board meeting, Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chairman. This is the vice chairman, Mr. Chen. Board members, Mr. Himmel, Ms. Barry, Mr. O'Brien. Behind me, the head of inspectional service director, Mr. Conlon. And to my right, our clerk, Mrs. Griffin. You got a cell phone, could you please put it on silent or vibrate so we don't interrupt the meeting? If anyone's going to testify tonight, you got to stand up and take an oath. If you don't take an oath, you will not testify. So if anyone's going to testify or think you might testify, please stand up and take an oath. If you don't take an oath, you will not testify.
Do you swear to
Mr.
tell the
Chin.
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth and the matters now in here? Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to, yeah,
Mr. Chair, I'll move to accept and waive the reading of the minutes for the regularly scheduled meeting of January 27, 2026.
Second.
on the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. CBA 2529, Kevin Cash for variance to construct an 10 by 20 greenhouse on the premise number 210 Adams Street. The applicant and representative here. Mr. Cash, you're up. Name and address for the record, please.
Kevin Cass, 210 Adams Street, Quincy, Massachusetts. Thank you guys for your time. Here we are again. I can go through the whole presentation again if you would like.
Now, what we needed is where that easement goes back on your property,
Yes, sir.
that you say you talked to Mr. Chen?
That is correct, yes.
All right, and tell me what he said to you, and you got an email today, which I didn't get.
No, he forwarded me an email reiterating his commentary. He was actually a little confused by the whole thing.
Yeah.
When I asked for details about the easement, he said it was irrelevant because it was a temporary structure.
All right.
And like he didn't care and was a little confused why I was in his office again.
Very good. You have that email?
Yes, just a
Can you
moment.
forward that to our clerk, please?
Please.
Absolutely.
Once we get that, we can,
I'm gonna try this. Uh-huh.
here we go.
I don't know why that's right now.
I don't either. Is it on?
Hey,
Hey,
fortune smiles. So yes, if you'd like, I can also scroll up to my, or scroll down to my communication with him as well. But basically, I just left him a note in his office after discussing with him the week prior. And yeah, he was confused why I was bothering asking him about an easement when it was a temporary structure.
Right.
To be clear, like I may have oversold this thing. It's basically just metal tubing and plastic. There's no like heating, there's no plumbing going
no,
to
no,
it.
all right. Now we get that. That's what we were looking for,
Oh, okay.
to talk about this, so we can make our decision, because it is on an easement. But if, like you say, just tubing and plastic, it can come up and down.
Yeah, I'm not.
Does it take around an hour to take down?
Yeah.
All right.
I won't say I'll be thrilled about it, but I can do it.
Any, is there any questions on this? That's all we need.
No question.
Can you just tell me how is the structure going to be anchored into the ground?
I'm going to bury 4x4 pressure treated woods. It's like 6 inches around the pond, and then I'm just going to bolt it to it. The plan was to potentially do a couple of pieces of threaded rod with like a small concrete, like, precast, maybe a foot deep. But I would call dig safe for that, and if that's an issue that would otherwise preclude the project, I'm happy not doing it. It was just like a little extra weight to help me level it out.
And your intent is to leave it up 12 months a year?
That is the intent, but again, like this is a kit that comes from like Amazon, or in this case, Alibaba. But it's basically just like a shed that you would buy from like BJ's or Home Depot. The only thing that makes it remarkable is that it's a little bit larger than normal, and it happens to be clear.
Okay, thank you.
My issue with it is that now it's temporary and they're gonna put 2 4x4s in. And when you leave or take it down to the
I'm
next
taking it
guy,
with me.
take
Hun-
the,
oh,
the next guy
100%.
comes in and it's there.
For the amount that I have to pay for it, I'm
remains
taking it.
in the permanent easement and the pond is in the easement, which I have a problem with. And again, it's a property right that somebody has on his land that they're entitled to go in there and dig up whenever they want to dig up. And it interferes with whatever's in the ground.
And I think if he's okay with them digging up his pond, which he'd have to be, because it's on their easement, they would dig it up. Take your fish out, we're digging up your pond, we gotta get back there. It's less for them to dig, number one, it's all water, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just water,
It's just
Gotta
water.
be
water,
something.
plastic,
It's
plastic line.
what is it? A Vervor, like big piece of rubber. It's like 30 by 40 feet, but it's all dug into the ground. There are rocks around it. But if somebody needs to get up, a backhoe would make very quick work of it.
That's the way I look at it, I think they'll just rip it out, they gotta get back there.
I'll set up a kiddie pool for the fish.
I just
Yeah.
think it's a bad precedent.
Are you looking
Alright.
for conditions, Joe?
Huh?
Are you looking for conditions? Are you looking for conditions?
No, I'm just looking, I don't think you should be building anything in a permanent easement, anything, temporary, permanent. It's a permanent easement, it's a right that somebody else has on your land. And if you get them to sign off on it and agree to it. But what you're doing is you're establishing, it's like
Could you want
somebody's
him
trying.
to get them to sign off on it?
No, I don't, again, it's a permanent easement. By law, they're not supposed, nobody's supposed to be in there to do anything. So I know I'm being a hard butt.
No, I know, but I'm saying, if they're gonna dig to get to where they gotta get, a pond is not gonna stop, they're just gonna dig
No, I
right through. It's not like he's putting, 50 yards of concrete on the ground.
Him. But what if somebody else comes in after him and it's there and they start yelling and screaming? And it's already been there for 30, 40 years. I'm just,
Again, I can assure you, if and when I ever sell the house, I will be taking this greenhouse with me.
I'm not disagreeing with your position. What I'm saying is
I hear
that
what you're saying.
you're violating the permanent easement, the rights that the person has that's in there.
But our guy down at DPW said it's a temporary structure, it can go there.
Yeah, he's not a court appointed,
Well,
you know?
I
He's
know,
not a land court attorney.
But if it's temporary and you can just move it in an hour, I don't see.
It's not like there's a
It's not like
cop.
they're taking a 20 by 40 shed and putting it down there, it weighs 4,000 pounds. You're gonna have to move that sucker. These are plastic pieces that go together, snap together. That's just my opinion, no. Anyone else, any questions?
Let me ask, Mr. Chair. So the person who has the other right to this easement, you had discussion with that person?
He is, I believe, in the audience. I'm sure he will. Speak of the devil. I'm sure he has something to say about it. I remember shooting him a text message when I was doing it, and for the record, he was also in communication with me when I was building the pond. Again, everything was permitted. As far as where else it could have gone, had I moved the pond to the left, farther away from the easement, it would have actually interfered with the sewer pipes for the other neighbors. This was the spot to put it if I was going to fence it in. We're adults. We deal with things. I don't want my nephews or nieces to get concussed from seeds falling from a tree. I don't want my fish to get, eaten by a hawk. I have absolutely no desire to ask my neighbor to get rid of that beautiful tree. It's gorgeous. I have no problem with it. I just, don't want to risk head injury. This seems like the easiest solution.
Thank you. Any further questions? You can have a seat. Does anyone else want to speak on this? Name and address for the record, please.
You get it.
Jeff Zinda, 18 Sturtevant Road, direct to butter.
No, he's got a new.
Okay, as I testified when we met in December, Mass General Law, Chapter 187, Section 5, basically prohibits any type of structure in a utility easement. That would include any type of foundation. This structure would need to be restrained from wind loading and would constitute a permanent structure. Even Chapter 375-10-2, the terms here define structure in the Quincy zoning ordinances. So you can see things like retaining walls, tanks, fence, things of that nature cannot be placed within a utility easement. So this is the appellant's plot plan that he was submitted back in December. We reviewed this in the previous hearing. I'd like to note here, there are two locations where a 15-foot utility easement for both power and sewer is shown. The pond is placed 8 feet into that easement. It's a violation of 8 feet of that 15-foot easement. The pond itself should not be within the easement. It is an illegal structure. I've spoken to Solicitor Timmons, who I believe has talked to Mr. Conlon about this. Right now, as we sit, this zoning board does not have any say within that easement. It is a non-possessory right in the Commonwealth, which means the utility, all direct abutters, and everyone would have to agree to any violation of that easement. And you can speak to Solicitor Timmons about that. He agrees with my position, and I believe has given some information to Mr. Conlon on this as well. So this is the 184 200 Adams Street development. There was a question of whether that was an active easement or not. This was what we met about some years ago. I think many of you were present for that. This is the approximate location of the koi pond over which this structure would be erected, which is in violation of the easement. That is where the easement is in the records on Plan 747 in 1962. It's a very old easement. The green lines you see on the screen are the new sewer lines that serve all four houses as part of that development that was codified in 2019. You can see there were actually additional easements, sewer easements added in 2019 to the 1962 original easement. You know, when we look at building application B25582 for the koi pond in question, you can see this was what issued back in March. No plot plan was issued along with these documents. So the city had no idea where the actual pond was being installed at that point in time. And you can see here what's highlighted right on the building permit itself. I know you're all very familiar with this form. All constructions, alterations, changes of use of any building and structures shall be in compliance with local zoning ordinances and codes. So the whole question here, the premise of this, the pond should not be there in the first place. And the structure on top of it, for the reasons I mentioned in the December hearing, is further exacerbating an issue. I would ask that you outright reject this request and in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth and what is reasonably able to be placed within an easement versus not. I'm not sure if Mr. Conlon, if you want to add anything to that based on your conversations.
I'll talk to Mr. Conlon. It's not up to you to ask.
Okay,
that,
that's
so
fair.
If you're done, you can have a seat.
I am done. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Mr. Conlon, did you talk about this with him?
I talked to Mr. Timmons.
Yes, no?
No,
Oh, okay.
and Mr. Timmons is agreeing with you.
All right. All right. Where that is, what's on the left of that? Where that pond could go over 6 or 8 feet?
Just if the pond needs to move, it needs to move.
It's gonna have to move, I guess, if our lawyer says it, but someone in the department said it was okay to put a temporary structure there. So that's where I get my orders from, but if Mr. Timmons overrides them, that's where I get my orders from him, but he never said a word to me. He must have talked to Mr. Conlon, and I'm just finding that out right now, and as all of us are.
In the event that I do move it over out of the easement, is there any issue with me then putting it within 3.6 of the back fence, or do you want me to like move it into the middle of the yard?
No, just get down there and he'll tell you exactly where you can put it and what's gonna go on. You're gonna get a permit to put it in. All right? All right, motion to deny?
Yes, no further discussion, right? Mr. Chair, ZBA 2559, Ward 5, Kevin Cass for a variance to construct a 10-foot by 20-foot greenhouse on the premises numbered 210 Adams Street, Quincy, Mass. I move to deny the petition.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Thank you for moving up.
Third time's the charm.
You can get a permit for your cover too for that. Let's move. Further on to tonight's agenda. CBA 2564, Attorney Patrick Foley for a variance to construct a single-family home on the current vacant lot, premises number 61 Gladstone Street. Foley, you have the floor.
Thanks, sir.
Name and address.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is Patrick Foley with the business address of 265 Willard Street. I'm the attorney for the project here tonight. I'm joined here with Zach and Tim, who designed and hopefully be building this structure if we're lucky enough to get this approved tonight. The property we're here to discuss tonight is 61 Gladstone Street. This 4,046 square foot lot is located in the residential A zoning district of the city. The applicant has lived across from this vacant parcel for over 15 years. A little bit of background on this parcel. This lot was once part of a home that was on neighboring Brunswick Street. Roughly about a year ago, the owner subdivided his lot, and my client was able to purchase it off of him a few months ago. So my client lives across the street from this vacant lot, and just to reiterate, he's lived in this neighborhood for over 15 years. The applicant is proposing tonight to build a single-family home on this lot. This home will be 3.5 bathrooms, have 2 bedrooms, and a 2-car garage and a driveway. I want to stress, this is not outside the norm for this street. This street is all single-family homes with lots that range anywhere from as low as 3,049 square feet all the way up to 6,500 square feet, with a few lots sprinkled in that are a little bit more than that. I also want to add, this parcel is bigger than 8 lots that are on this street, as well as the 2 lots immediately to its right, it's bigger than. So it's not like we're trying to cram a house in here. We're bigger than eight of the lots on this street, and it fits into the norm of the neighborhood, and it's nothing detrimental that's going to be going in here. The applicant has tried to be nothing but a good neighbor and transparent on this project. And I feel anybody who has dealt with him for or against this project can at least agree on that. He lives here, he loves it here, and being a good neighbor is pretty important to him. I know this is our first time presenting this case before this body tonight, but I just want to let it be known that he's redrawn these plans close to 4 times. Every time he's redrawn them, it's been after he's had a conversation with somebody in the neighborhood. So whether it's redesigning it, redesigning it, shrinking it, whatever has been asked of him up to this point, he's done. He's worked with 2 different city councilors to get here tonight. We've had a neighborhood meeting, which was very well attended the day after the snowstorm. Sorry. All he's trying to do is build a single-family home across from his house for his brother. So I'm going to have Zach and Tim come up and just go over the plot plan and the interior of the building, the home.
Thank you. Where's the plot plan?
Good evening. My name's Tim Icardi. This is my son, Zach. We own a small design.
1 minute, please.
Sure.
Where's the plot plan for the new building that you shrunk? It's not, I don't have one,
It's right on this,
but it doesn't show, right, unless that's it.
it shows the,
Right there.
yeah.
So is that 30 by 52, the revised house?
That is correct.
And it's, can't see the numbers on the side here. Are they still the same?
We have it up on the screen.
All right. Go ahead.
I am a relative of the applicant. So he came to us and asked us to design a house for this parcel.
Yeah.
So this is the parcel here. It's 40 by 100, as Pat had mentioned. The dimensions of the house proposed is 30 by 52. It has a 15-foot driveway. The driveway would be 20 feet wide. The house is 30. The driveway would be 20 feet wide, and it would leave a 10-foot area. You'll see the front of the elevation of the house where the entrance is. There'd be a walkway up to the entrance. So the driveway would be 20 by 15. So if you want to move to the, so here's the front elevation. The garage area is 20 feet wide with a single door. And then to the right of it is the 10-foot entryway, you know, with a small window and steps to go up, little porch area. You can go to the next slide. So, sure. This is the top section would be the garage area.
I don't have that. The new revised plans. went in there? Are they on the old ones?
The interior?
Yeah. I don't know. I know. Where'd you get that? The new plans? I didn't get that.
You didn't get this?
Huh?
You want this one?
Yeah, they were
Yeah, but we should have
uploaded.
it. When do I do them? They're not in here, right?
I can look at
It's
the
not in, here. Unless I missed it.
I can look at the screen.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So here's the lower level, your entry from the driveway to the left on the top plan with a two-car garage and some storage up against the back wall, some workbench area and storage shelves. That's what he would like to have. You come right into the foyer area.
So that take 4 cars, that garage?
Maybe,
Five.
maybe 4 small cars, maybe. It depends, I guess. No, not 5, no.
All right.
So you enter through the front door and you can go upstairs, or you can go right straight into the garage, as you can see those 2 doors. So you go up the stairs to the first floor living, and you come up to the first floor. There's a 2-bedroom home with a full bath on that, 1.5 baths on the main level, and a kitchen area, and a combined with a living area to the rear of the house with a deck out the rear. Any questions on that floor plan?
So downstairs, you have a full bath.
You're showing a full bath in the garage?
Yes, there's a bathroom in the garage, yes. Yep,
With a shower, right?
yep.
And then you have a top floor plan too?
And so here's the main level, that was the main level, and then the top is more like an attic, but it's gonna be an exercise area.
With another full bath?
Yes,
And what is the clear height?
the clear height of that
The
room.
ceiling in the room?
Oh, the ceiling in the room would be probably 8 foot high, in the
Okay.
middle, The walls have to come in by code, 5 feet on the edges, that's mass code. So, the remainder of the room is 20 feet wide.
Why don't you finish what you're going through, and then we'll
Sure,
ask our
sure.
questions. Thanks.
Other than that, there is a air handler in the eave there for heat. That's pretty much it. It's an exercise room only.
On the top floor.
Yes.
What's the
That's a
square
half
footage?
story.
What's the square footage of that house?
So the square footage is it on there? It's 1,560 square feet on the main level, on the first floor.
Yep.
And then it's, I'm sorry, it's 20 times, it's 1,040 on the half story above. That room up there is 1,040 square feet after you build the walls in on the sides. So it's just over 2,500 square feet total.
All right. I don't know if we're missing something here. Numbers on the sides. Can't even read them.
On the elevations,
No, the side, what's the side setbacks here?
the side setbacks would be 5 feet. It's a 30-foot structure, and on the plot plan, it's a 30-foot structure, and it's 5 foot on each side. See the fives? They're on the adjacent lots.
Why are we doing that? Like, why are you doing that? Why don't you have a 24-foot house at least and bring it back a little bit, like 24 by 36 by 40? You know, you get 4,000-foot lot.
Yep.
Plenty of lots around that have bigger lots if you want a bigger lot and a bigger house. I mean, to me, that's like 5 feet from the lot line. If it wasn't there in 1900, it shouldn't be there, to me. There's a way I get it, but you just, and then someone beside you, what if they want to build a house 5 feet? You're gonna pass T like we're in South Boston? It's not fair in zoning. It's really not to the people, I don't believe, that we're gonna have to cram houses in like that. 30 by 52. Man, that's a huge house for a lot that size. It really is. It's just, and you got 4-car garage there. I mean, good, four-car garage. You can have a two-car garage and shrink your house down a little bit, slow down the living room a little bit, make a dining room and stuff, and your two bedrooms. I don't know, it's just too much for me. Go ahead.
So our first design showed a design, and we showed it to the neighbors. And what it had was, their feedback was, you're making it look like just a garage. So what we did was, we put that side entrance there to make it look more like the neighborhood. That was the intent of that.
That's not, I think the house looks good. It's a good-looking house, but I think it's just too big for that lot. 5 feet off a lot line.
The house next to it, immediately to the left of it, it's 3 foot setback.
Yeah, and it's probably been there for 100 years.
It has.
Foundation,
Yep.
so that's there. So why should we do that? So now you get 8 feet between homes. Is that fair in zone one? When we get a city now that we're getting jammed as it is, and, zone B, that's where they're building all these two families. We have an agenda tonight. We got a two-family turn into a three, and now they want an ADU in it. It's like, I'm not saying it's a nice looking house,
Yeah.
but it's 5 feet from the lot line. It's tough.
It's a single-family house, I get
It's
it.
tough.
We're,
It's just tough.
just trying to match the
I
neighborhood.
know you are,
That's
and
all.
you're trying to make it,
Yeah.
you're trying to make a nice house, and I
Yeah.
want to see him have a nice
Yeah.
house, but, that could have been shrunk down a little bit and come in here with something that you got some breathing room and you can mow your lawn inside the house.
So, I think he's open.
That's just mine.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
think he's open to, input, definitely.
I mean, it's just,
We've changed it three
I-
times,
you should have brought it here the first time, I would have told you that right away.
I think you're right.
Wait,
I think you're
whoa,
right.
whoa,
Yeah.
You're like way off here.
Yep.
I mean, that's not fair to nobody, 8 feet from a neighbor's house.
Yeah.
It's just,
He was
and
just.
I hate being
yeah.
the bad guy, but we gotta be the bad guy, or this city's gonna get ruined, it really is. It's like, everyone wants their sister and cousin and brother. That's how we got to where we are now. You have a family of 7. They almost own the street. They built them right together. They took garages. Look at how's neck. Zone A, garages, 2 houses on 1 lot. Now you gotta subdivide them. When they get divorced, you subdivide them. Someone gets the garage, that's the house, and someone gets the house. It's not funny. It's happening all the time. We already did that a few times. They didn't want to sell the property as one. They really wanted to stay and live there. I get it. So you subdivide. It's 2 houses, so you get 2 tax bills. I get it. But, it's like, I'd rather see a garage in the back. Something, and the house being, so people can. Is this the property that stuff was, the parking was going on down there? That's not the house, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
There's
Oh,
still
it
park,
is.
there's still parking. There's 4 cars there as of today.
I didn't think that was the place. I heard about it.
There's 2 cars there, it hasn't been.
There were 4 this afternoon.
Well, we're doing construction across the street.
I understand, but you turned it into a parking lot when you weren't supposed to.
Whoa, one at a time. One at a time. All right, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know what these guys have to say. They got their own views on that.
Yeah,
Guys.
I share your opinion. I think 5 feet lot lines are to be avoided. And you got 2 of them, one on each side. You got 2 5-foot lot lines. So it's too big a house width-wise on this lot. It's a smaller lot, 4,000 square feet. You got a bathroom in a garage, which I find a little unusual. You got a bathroom on the 3rd floor, which is an open space, which is a little unusual, and you have the 2 bedrooms on the 1st floor. It seems to me that there's an opportunity there to convert some of that space to another bedroom. I just find the whole configuration a little odd, but I'm really opposed to it because of the lot lines, the 5 feet on both sides.
Mr. Himmel,
Nice looking place. I think you've done a nice job designing it, but you're right. You get 5 feet, not just on one side, you get 5 feet on 2 sides. So if you could do something about that, be appreciative of it.
I agree with the other board
Carry on.
members. I'd like to see at least 10 feet on each side. The 3 stories is too big on this size lot. The house on either side, one's a single story, one is a 2-story. So I think the top floor is just too much. and the house is too big for the site. And I really think it's, the lot was prepped to be paved without permission, and it's been used actively as a parking lot for the last 7 months. And I really don't appreciate that that's what the owner of the lot's been doing.
I agree, same thing on the size. Way too big.
This, now they paved some of the lot, they didn't pave the
They
whole.
prepped the lot for paving,
Right.
and they've been using it as a parking
There's
lot
no
ever
pave, no
since.
pave.
Right.
It's not paved,
Okay,
but it was
okay. I
prepped to
looked
be
at it, I didn't
paved.
see it, I go, did I miss something down there? That was a long time ago.
What's it got,
This first
aggregate
came
on
out,
it?
I went down and looked at it.
Okay.
I didn't, I just saw a couple cars the other day, I didn't think it was the one with the parking lot, I thought that was another house down there somewhere. No. They didn't build. Right, right. I mean, I know it's a 40-foot lot, and you're gonna have some problems here, trying to put a house in there, but you can't come with 5 feet, I mean, you know, and if you did put 10, I mean, you got a 20-foot house. You know?
They bought
Maybe-
this lot. They
maybe
bought the
20
lot for
I know.
parking, Marty. So they're trying to figure out a house to go with the parking.
Well, when you can get a 22-foot house and 9 feet each side, at least. But the 52, that's like bizarre with 2 bedrooms. It's almost wrong. Yeah. All right,
Mr. Chair, could we take some time and push this out and redesign?
yeah. Did you you said you had a meeting and it was well attended.
Yeah, we did. Councilor Riley put it together.
I know we're gonna change this, so I don't even know who's here for that and who's not here. Who's here for this case at all? You wanna speak in favor or against? Favor. Anyone out there? All right, why don't we go through it then, and we're gonna have another meeting, because that's not the house they're gonna build. So if anyone wants to speak in favor, now's your time, come on up. They're gonna change the design.
This is everybody that's in favor.
My name is Patrick O'Connor. I'm 915 East Squantum Street. I live in Squantum. I know the builders of this lot. I like the look of the house. I don't think it's obscene for the neighborhood. Parking is a big issue in every street in Quincy.
All right,
Taking 4 cars off the street.
well, that's a good idea, right, and then he's got a
Well, everybody up
driveway.
here
You could
didn't
take
think so.
6 cars off the street, 8
Yeah,
cars with that.
so more parking off the street, it's a nightmare out there these days.
Right,
I'm in favor of it.
thank you.
Patrick, tell me your street again, I'm sorry.
915 East Squantum Street.
Sorry.
He didn't sign this, okay. Anyone else?
Mark Linkwitz, 54 Gladstone Street. I live right next door to Tom, who was looking to build this house. It's the last empty lot on the street.
Is it Mark?
Yes, Mark,
Okay.
M-A-R-K. Very much in favor of seeing something built there. And as far as the parking goes, I think the house would look a whole lot nicer than cars parked even just in front of the lot all the time, rather than even in it.
Yeah,
But I'm very much in favor of, Tom's been a great neighbor.
Yeah.
I think the street is great. We all seem to get along quite well, so I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to put something in that spot.
we should support something, we should.
Good.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Call up out of hearing closed, anyone, no, nothing new from the DPW?
No.
Nothing at all, right?
No.
Okay. Call up out of hearing closed. Is there anyone opposed or undecided want to speak? Step up, name and address for the record, please.
Lisa McGrath, 65 Gladstone Street. I'm the house, I'm the lot beside it. You got that? Sorry. Tom and Mel they've been good neighbors. I don't know about floor plans. I've seen 2. This is the second one I've seen. I completely appreciate they bought a lot. I bought this house in October of 2025, and that was somebody's backyard. Tall privacy trees and a fence. In the time between I closed on that house on last Halloween and the time that I moved into it, they had subdivided that land and sold this lot, which I went to the permit office. They told me it was unbuildable. Everybody said it was unbuildable. but they subdivided it, and I'm not opposed to them building something. I'm not. We are good neighbors. I don't want to be, like, I don't want to be the villain, but I also don't want to be the victim. This thing's 8 feet from my house, and it's big. It's big. And I appreciate they want to get a parking lot, or they want to get a parking garage. I'm not opposed to that either. It's just the kind of spec and the scope and the proximity to my home and kind of my brand-new home, I don't love it. So if they come back with something
The other one,
reasonable,
3 feet from the lot line?
yeah,
Over here.
yeah.
Yep.
And it was a backyard when I bought it. So like I didn't really plan for this. I'm not entirely sure I would have bought it if I had a plan for this. But having something kind of that big, I feel like is going to materially decrease my property value that close. And I think to the point, like the zone 8 protections for 13 feet on each side are in place for a reason. So like this kind of also sets a precedent that if you can build 5 feet from the land, then why is it 13 feet from each side? So I will work with them. I think they're all lovely. We had a great town meeting. We didn't come to any decisions. I'm happy to work with them. I just don't want something of this size and scope right next door to me.
Anyone else? Thank you. Please step forward, name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Pete Sorensen, 57 Gladstone Street, and a direct abutter. I just want to go on the record opposing to the size, the massing, and the proximity to the property lines. I think you guys really have understood what the issues are with the direct abutters. I mean, 7 to 8 feet between structures is not appropriate. You know, the proponent assertion that the design is consistent with the neighborhood, I tend to disagree with. I mean, the facts are the facts. Yes, some of these lots are smaller, but there's not a lot less than 40 foot on the street. They're just, the depth is a little bit less. So if you go up and down the street, there are several 40-foot lots, there's 4 or 5 of them. And they're they're not in close proximity. They always have a driveway and sometimes double driveways between them. So they're a minimum 10 or 11 feet. Lisa's house is actually the closest on the street, if you actually look at it, to the neighbor to her left. And the distance between the house, I don't know the exact dimension, but it's about 10 plus feet between the houses. I mean, to be 7 or 8 feet from your bedroom and your bathroom window is not fair.
I get that.
Our house, I mean, these houses have been there. Lisa's house was built in 1900, so it's been here 126 years. My house was built by my dad in 1956. We've owned the land, that's 70 years. We've owned the land way before that. We've been in this neighborhood for
Most of them were probably
over 100
cottages,
years.
though, right? They built all those cottages, people
Yeah,
visited
and that's what
too
they
in
were.
those-
They were
those
cottages.
days, Right.
Yes.
That's what happened in Owl's Neck. There's tons of them.
Yeah. So, you know, again, we're not opposed to it. I respect the rights of everybody to develop on their parcels, to meet their needs. And, you know, I hope that we always have that right to do that. But I just want it to be reasonable, the massing. I mean, the house is, Lisa's house is a bungalow. I bet the peak of the roof is probably 18 foot high. This thing's gonna be 30 plus feet.
Right.
My house is a 2-story house. It's only 1,700 square foot. That house is right now, I mean, I think they said 2,500, but, you know, it's 4,000 square foot mass, right? That lower level is another additional 1,552 square feet.
Right.
The 3rd floor is bigger than the house next door, so. That's all. I mean, I think you guys understand
I think we get
our
it too,
concern.
yeah. Gotta
I
come
mean,
back with something.
we want to see some, yeah, it's a great looking house. It's unfortunate
Nice
that,
looking.
yeah,
Yeah, an
that
8,000 square foot.
the
lot
parcel
is
is
gorgeous,
that
right.
small.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
consideration.
Is
Thank
there
you.
anyone else? Step forward, name and address for the record, please. Anyone else wants to speak, come on up. Go ahead.
Gary Cuniff, I live at 53 Gladstone. So I'm all in favor of improving and developing this lot. We did have a neighborhood meeting. I mean, it's from the comments tonight, it sounds like it's going a little negative, and I don't know if it's possible. Is the board able to offer some sort of guidance in terms of a variance, what would be acceptable before it comes back again?
We'll talk to them when everyone's done.
Okay. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Nice seeing you. Anyone else? Council? Counselor! Hey.
Greetings. Deborah Riley, 9 Landgrain Street. I'm also the Ward 6 City Councilor, and I did host what I thought was a pretty productive community meeting the day after the snowstorm or the day after the cleanup, hoping that we could broker some compromise and make you folks, your lives a little bit easier. It does seem like we're still pretty far apart on an agreement. I think we can agree that there could be something that could be built here, and it does seem like you guys are straight on with the side setbacks seeming to be the sticking point. I did do a little bit of analysis, and although there are many lots throughout Squantum that are in the 4,000 square foot range, most of them have homes that are far more modest. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison, because most of them are 700 or 800 square feet, maybe 12 to 1,500. But my hope is that we can find some compromise, because we do all need to live in this neighborhood together. So thank you.
Thank you, Council. Thanks for coming tonight. Anyone else? Call up out of hearing closed. I gotta read these into the record if we could. People that are in favor, their addresses. I know 2 of them spoke, but just read them anyway.
You want the addresses only?
Name that. Yeah, just name that.
Gary Cunnett,
They're in favor.
53 Gladstone Street, Quincy. Gloria Moy Blanton, 54 Brunswick Street. Michelle Carrier, 64 Brunswick Street. Brett Carrier, 64 Brunswick Street. Lorraine Azar, 69 Gladstone. Karen Azar, 69 Gladstone. Mark Linkowitz, 54 Gladstone. Christy Linkowitz, 54 Gladstone Street, Quincy, Mass.
Thank you.
Thank you. Call up out of the hearing closed, and it's debate time. I mean, in that house, the max it could be, to me, is like 24, which would be 8 more feet. That'll give about 11 feet between the house at least, like, you know, on the other side, it's, I don't even know what's there.
They're not shown.
Yeah. No, I know.
She said her
How close
house
is
was
it?
8 feet.
Well, hers is 3 feet.
3.
So it'd be 8 feet, but it was there since 1900, you know? 1920. So we're looking at 9 feet on each side,
You still get a
11 feet
You still
between
get
the
a
houses.
2-car garage with 24-foot house, right?
24-foot house, they get a 2-car garage, of course you can.
But would they lose the front door?
Well, they'll probably lose some of it, yeah. It'd be a different setup with the garage. They wouldn't have that big entryway. You know, you're gonna take, if you're taking, you know, what are you taking, 6? Oh, you need more than that. 24-foot house would be 6, there'd be only 3, it'd be 6 feet from her house. And how, the other house, it'd be 6. I mean, you know, 40 feet, so 16 feet would be 8 24-foot house. I mean, I hate to say it, but, and that's bringing it down to 8, right, from lot line.
It's just tough. It's not.
It is, it's a little lot, so, I
Very
mean,
narrow lot.
you know, 20 by,
20 by 52, and maybe grant them a little latitude on the height in order to shrink the actual footprint.
well, he's gotta shrink it anyway.
Yeah,
He's gotta shrink
so-
the height, because he got a little house beside him too. You can't have it
Yeah.
way up there, that'd be like, you should take it down something, you know?
What's
I
your,
know, I would say the biggest house I'd like to see in that lot really is 24. That's the max, and that brings 8 feet from each lot line. And if that don't work, I don't know what to say.
You certainly can't have a garage of that size.
Of course you can, 24 foot? Why can't you have a 2-car garage? Of course you can.
Well, 2, you can't have 4.
Why can't you? If the house is the same size, 52 feet,
what's the height of this? Let's see.
crazy wild. 30,
The total height
yeah,
is 30.
30?
30, yeah.
It's a 2-story house with a 10-pitch roof is what it is.
Yeah,
It's not a 3rd story.
Well, maybe you can take that roof down a little bit too. I don't know,
Yeah, it knocked the pitch down.
you know?
It just aesthetically, it looks good, but this pitch could be knocked down.
Yeah, take it down to a 7. And then
What's the height of the knee walls required?
Five
Five.
is required, yeah. I mean, it does reduce the ceiling height, but
So you'd be,
I think an E-pitch, you could still get a 7'6" ceiling probably up there.
Mm-hmm.
if you brought the pitch down, you'd be squeezing that square footage up a lot.
Wait,
Yeah.
I mean, you want it a little small too, it's
Yeah.
on a small lot, right? So, I mean, you can take the pitch down, shrink it down, you get a 24 by, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, it's tough to get a door in with 24, it would be tough, I mean, it would be really,
But
really.
you get one big door, and you pull in, and you pull in.
Yeah, there would be no, yeah. We had that design originally and it
Mm-hmm.
looked like just a garage on the lot and that was the feedback we got, but we didn't come here.
Yeah, yeah.
26 would be, I could probably get a door next to it if we just, the whole thing was just 26.
An entry door off to the
Yeah,
side.
an entry door, so it looked like a dwelling. Looks like a house. Point of entry. Normal
You get
garage,
eight-
normal garage doors are 9 foot wide.
Right, that's what I'm saying, you get 18 feet, 2 cars.
Yeah, but you need shear walls on
Yeah,
either side.
I know.
Yeah. So it's, be tough to get a door entry, that's all I'm saying, an entry
Yeah.
door. 26 would give, what's that one down next to it? 26 total. Be 14.
26 is
Be
14,
7
it's
foot, it'd be 7
7.
foot on each side, yeah. I think that would make it aesthetically pleasing, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Knock the pitch down on the roof, it wouldn't look so massive.
You know, I hate to say, it, you bought the lot, so
I agree.
you knew from the beginning it wasn't gonna be 13 and 13, because you have a 14-foot house. So you bought that lot, what to do with it is up to you now. Do I wanna see 7 feet on each side? If I had to, but we don't have to today, we really don't, we could do something else, maybe build it. What's on the other side of you? What's on the other side of that lot? I could forget, I was there
Right,
2
on
months
the right
ago.
side?
Going down on the left, right?
On the left is Lisa's house that she spoke.
All right, on the
And
right
on the
side.
right is a colonial, a regular
And
colonial.
how
oversized
close is
one.
that to the
That
lot?
one's probably, I would say there's probably a good 7 feet on.
7 feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. It could be about 7 feet on from his dwelling to the lot line, to the right.
Yeah, because she needs some room over,
She has 3, yeah, only 3.
we got 3, so.
There is a stockade fence on that lot line, a
Yeah,
6-foot stockade
I
fence,
know.
just so you know.
I remember seeing,
We could also do some some landscape planting.
you
too.
do a lot of landscaping, that's not the issue. The issue is the massive of the house on a 40-foot lot, you know? I don't know, what I'll say is, you guys do what you do, we want it shrunk, so, right?
Yeah, come back with another plan.
Come back with another plan, we'll take a look at it. If we gotta do it again, we'll do it again. If not, you might get your house. All right?
Thank you.
So give these people some room. They need room. You can't 7, 8 feet. And you can move it, shift it and give more to her and less to the other side, but don't squeeze them the same because her house was there in 1900s.
Yeah.
All right, what's a good date?
Continue to the 24th or March 10th?
No, March 10th would have to be. March 10th, because we might have 2 more cases, correct?
Yeah.
They might go back, right. So, and they were here before then, right? We'll do March 10th.
March 10th.
March 10th, have a motion, please, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, ZBA 25-64, Attorney Patrick Foley for a variance to construct a single-family home on the current vacant lot on the premises numbered 61 Gladstone Street, Quincy, Mass. Move to continue the matter to March 10.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Lady. Further on to tonight's business. ZBA 2577, George Hardeman for a variance and finding to raise the existing structure, construct a 3-story, 6-unit dwelling with 8 surface parking space on the premise number 166 Independence Ave. The applicant or representative here.
Yes.
Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name's Tom Cavanaugh. I'm an attorney with an address at 15 Foster Street here in Quincy.
Thank you.
Standing in for Attorney David Mahoney, who I work with, who is unable to be here tonight. We represent George Hardeman, the trustee of the 166 Independence Ave Trust. We're here for 2 requests. We have requests for findings as well as variances. A little background on the property. It's in the Residence C zoning district. As you know, that is a medium-density multifamily zoning district. It is a dilapidated 2-story, single-family residence. Bounded by Independence Ave and Verchild Street. It's a corner lot subject to the zoning ordinance 4.3.5. The applicant's proposing to demolish the existing structures, construct a 3-story multifamily residential building, off-street parking, as well as 6 units, 2 bedrooms each. The existing structure was constructed in 1918, predating zoning, contains approximately 1,884 square feet. The first, I'd go to the request would be for the findings. The first finding is going to be something we can't do anything about, the minimum lot size.
Yep.
11,000 square feet, where 14,000 is required, as well as the front yard setback. So the front yard setback, 25 feet is required. Existing is 6.4, but we are looking to make that a little bit better. I think it was 6.4, now it's going to be 10.3. So it's an improvement of the pre-existing non-conforming front yard setback. We suggest that those findings are not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood, and to the extent that they don't create any new nonconformities. The next would be the request for the variances. The variance request is going to be the side yard setback, as well as the lot area per dwelling unit. This lot can just about do 5 units by right. What's required is the 2,000, we're at 1,842. So we're close. So I suggest that the ask isn't a big ask. In my submittal, you'll see the variance criteria. I can certainly go through it, but I think,
No, we go. Yep.
okay. And with me tonight is Michael Joyce from Joyce Consulting Group. He's the engineer, as well as Phil Baker from Rockwood Design and Construction, who did the architecturals and the plan sets. I would ask them, maybe, you want to go first? Have Phil come up.
Yep.
He can run through the plan set with you guys.
Great. Full name and address, please.
Philip Baker, 7 Pleasant Street, Milton, Massachusetts.
Thanks.
Again, Rockwood Design, we designed the new construction here. So the existing is a 2-family dwelling on site. We're proposing a 6-unit, 2-bedroom dwelling that is roughly, each unit's about 800 square feet. 4 of them are 808, 2 of them are 817. The building is just over 6,000 square feet, 6,067. And it's under the height, it's 34 feet, 7 inches tall. The existing retaining wall that's on Independence curving around Verchild will remain. The only work we do there is also the walk path, and along with a new ramp that kind of gets us from Verchild grade up onto the site for handicap accessibility. And the building will be at grade, meaning you can, park in the back parking lot, come in the back, and also walk from the T-stop, which is right across the street, come up that staircase or the ramp and go into the front door. So essentially, there's 2 means of egress, front and back. And every unit has amenities of having decks, so they have an outdoor amenity. And the right-hand side of the building is where we're having the HVAC condensers and the trash pickup area. So we kind of push it all to one side. Right. So really the beauty of it is the whole building is a hip roof design, which every building around this is pretty hip roof centric. And the front facade is more modern centric to kind of match the style that's further down on Independence. So we kind of have a hardy plank clapboard hip, and the front is a board and batten with a hardy plank clapboard. So we're trying to match kind of 2 styles, more kind of colonial centric on the left, rear, and right, and then the front's more of a modern clad. So just kind of a little something different for a little bit more stylistic on the front. And we did have a community meeting, which is probably about 15 or so people came. That was about a year ago, January 2nd, 2025, at McKay's, and we kind of addressed any of their thoughts and comments, and hopefully have a good meeting tonight. So,
I tell you, it's a beautiful building. You got a beautiful building there. I like the design, I really do.
thank you. And Mike Joyce will kind of kick it off for any site plan review stuff.
4,000 block, you could fit that in that block, right?
Hello, Michael Joyce of Joyce Consulting Group, 439 Washington Street, Braintree, Mass. So as was previously mentioned, the lot's at the corner of Independence and Fairchild, directly across from the MBTA entrance, pedestrian entrance. It's 11,000 square foot lot. So we'd be demolishing the existing two-family home. There's currently a driveway off of Fairchild Street. There accesses the parking area in the rear. That access would be maintained, widened a little bit. And there'll be parking in the rear for eight spots. There'll be a new handicap ramp from Fairchild, as Mr. Baker mentioned, that will provide handicap access from Fairchild up to the building. And then as far as stormwater goes, there'll be 2 stormwater infiltration areas below the rear parking area. It's been designed to reduce the stormwater runoff in the 310, 25, and 100-year storms. There'll all be new sewer, water, and fire utility connections as the trash enclosure at the rear of the property and snow storage area around the perimeter of the parking area. Should also mention we've gone through first round of, we've presented the planning board, had a peer review, and we've addressed all the peer review comments.
You going back to tomorrow?
We're going back there tomorrow, correct? Yep.
We're talking.
So,
Now, are these condos or apartments? Apartments. On the parking 6, you got 6 units, each one designated 1 spot
Correct.
and 2 for guests?
Yes.
And that's the way it's gonna be in their lease?
That will be, yes.
Okay. That was my main question, is how you gonna do with those other 2 spaces? So you're not gonna rent those out for nobody, they're gonna be guest space?
They'll be.
All right, good. Any questions?
Not yet.
It looks like there's a new wall in front and the side. Are you leaving that big granite block wall or replacing it?
Yeah, the intent is to leave it. Obviously, when we're doing construction, things have a tend to shift. So if we have to finish it, we will,
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
it's gonna have to be repointed.
It needs work, so we'll make it better. And then the intent is to have some lighting there and stuff, so it'll be a nicer kind of strip going up to Fairchild. But if it does get compromised, we will repoint it.
All right.
Make it look nicer.
Barry?
In the basement, will there be storage units? What do you envision in the basement? It looks pretty wide open.
Yeah, so the basement's only for electrical room and fire suppression, and that's it.
What is
So,
the clear height in the basement?
It's 7'9" in the basement, so it's a full 8-foot pour. Just in that one midsection, so the left and right under the units is all slab on grade, and just right in the corridor is all the basement, so it's no storage. It's strictly just in and out to get electrical and fire suppression.
I think you should have storage for your tenants.
We can put it in there. It's more it's more for the building. We're trying to obviously do less excavation. So we could definitely do a full base with the entire thing. It gets into a funky thing where it's how much basement do you need? And, so if I need a report to make it bigger, we definitely can. Happy
I
to
just
do
think
it.
realistically, these are small units.
They
They're
are,
800
correct.
square foot units. People are going to have bikes and strollers and stuff. So realistically, I think to prevent people from storing their bikes and strollers in your corridors where they don't belong, you should have some basement.
Okay, so get some basement
Designated
space underneath. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
55 and older.
There's no elevator. There won't be any 55 plus.
No, I know, right?
It's going to be a young person's building.
That's
And
correct,
it's walking
yeah.
distance to the T.
Yeah, you run across, so the light's right there. You walk across and you're out the gate. It's very.
They still have
very
stuff.
close.
So
Yeah,
you
they
need
do.
basement
Correct.
storage.
Storage, you're right. Storage would be a great addition.
Yeah.
It'll keep it off the balconies too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Mr. O'Brien?
Dumpsters, barrels, when it comes to that?
So as part of the planning board review, they requested a trash storage area. So we have a dump, I believe it's called, we looked at totes, we think it's not going to be feasible. So there is a dumpster enclosure at the far end of the building. And that's where it's, so if you go back to the back of the end of the parking lot, it's going to be right on the right.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yep.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor? First call, second call, third call closed. Letter of conditions will be met, right? Already talked to him, he said that should be all set. This from the DPW, all these have been, I talked to them, they're gonna okay those tomorrow. I mean, you read whatever you wanna read. It's all gonna be addressed.
Marty Aiken, Zoning Board of Appeals, January 12th, 166 Independence Ave, KZBA 2577. We have reviewed and provided comments for this project to the planning board. All comments we provide will be addressed or resolved before the approval from planning board. We do not have further comments for the Zoning Board of Appeals at this time. Comments to the planning board are attached.
Thanks. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, second call, third call closed. It is a beautiful looking building, especially the wreck that's there now, and I'll be voting in favor.
I'm in favor as well.
Oh, absolutely. This is, we've had an empty house there for years and years. It's, I mean, according to this, I mean, it's like 7 or 8 years ago it was foreclosed. It's just a blight, so this is a tremendous
Beautiful.
improvement, so I'm absolutely in favor.
In favor. I think you did a nice job on the design.
Agreed. Thank you.
Have a motion, please.
Anything regarding storage in the basement?
Yes, please.
What did you want?
Storage in the basement, bike strollers, etc.
Thanks, storage.
You're agreed.
Mr. Chair, ZBA 25-77, Ward 4, George Hardiman for a variance and finding to raise the existing structure and construct a 3-story, 6-unit dwelling with 8 surface parking spaces on the premises numbered 166 Independence Avenue, Quincy, Mass. Move to allow the petition, subject to an increase in storage space in the basement.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Further under tonight's agenda. ZBA 2573, JBCT Architect for variance to structurally alter the existing detached garage in the premise number 239 Stafford. They want to move it till March 10th. Can I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. ZBA 2573, Ward 3, JCBT Architecture for a variance to structurally alter the existing detached garage on the premises number 239 Safford Street, Quincy, Mass. Move to continue the matter to, when was that?
310.
March 10.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. 310.
Excuse me.
Further on tonight, ZBA 2574, Tom Chan for a variance to surpass the allowable amount of paving on a parcel to accommodate parking for the dwelling on the premises number 1719 River Street in Quincy. Is the applicant represented here? You have the floor.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. My name is Bonnie Tan with JCBT Architect. I have the owner, Tom Chan, here tonight with us too. The property at 1719 River Street is an existing side-by-side 2-family dwelling located in the Res B zoning district on a 6,600 square feet lot. One of the unit is owner occupied. The owner is proposing to convert a portion of his basement into a studio ADU to generate additional rental income. Because of the property is not close to the MBTA station, 1 additional parking space is required for the ADU unit. We are therefore requesting approval for rear yard paving to accommodate this additional parking space. The owner has received overwhelming support from 27 abutters and unusually high level of support. We respectfully request that the board can grant relief in this matter. So I have highlighted this area in gray. That's the area that's where paving additionally so we can get the turning radius in and out of this 2 parking space plus this. This detached garage is not part of this hearing. That would be by right permit, so that's not part of it. But even though that's not part of the 2 parking space still counted toward. We need total of 5 for the 2-family and 1 for the ADU, so it's 6 parking space. So this existing driveway was paved, and we're doing about 800 to 900 square feet of paving additionally. So we can offer to do impervious paver or crushed stone for those additional paving area. Oh, it's not shown really well on the grade. So
Where's
this
this
is.
going, in the basement?
The basement is a 400 square feet space.
So it's a 2-family right now.
Yep, this
So why do you
basement,
say it's an ADU when you're not going to a 3-family? It's the same building. Where's the additional unit?
in the basement.
No, but it's, to me, it's not. It's a building. So you're turning it from a 2-family to a 3-family.
Well, they're applying for ADU, not a 3-family.
I don't see it
I mean,
like that,
if,
so.
as a 3-family,
I know
it's
exactly.
3
We already did it to the other one, and then you want to add an ADU on.
Yeah, it's 384 square feet studio.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah.
The way I read it.
It's not like you added a unit.
I was waiting.
You didn't add no.
It's like the ones that we've been projecting.
Now you made it 3-family.
Above a garage.
So if I want to garage and put ADU for compliant, let's see if I want to put ADU in the basement.
These are 2 dry.
I voted for her. Not that. Oh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe ADU go with owner. If I'm wrong, I think when.
I'm gonna
owner's
say, and
on-
I'll go on the record as saying, the governor didn't understand what she said when she made all these things. She made them for everybody, and it's just wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's gonna ruin our whole city. So that's my point, and I'll go on the record, fight me, I don't give a shit. This is getting stupid, it really is. Changing the wording of
can I-
everything, just changing the wording to make it so you can just put in units.
Can I ask
It's not like it's really putting in a unit for like your mother-in-law or your father-in-law is gonna live with you, and then you can take it out afterwards. It's not. It's not to help a family.
Can I ask a
It's just
question?
greed. Yeah, you can ask anything you want.
What's the difference between a third unit
Yep.
and a 2-unit and an ADU? An ADU to me would be a separate structure.
To me, it's an add-on.
Are
You're
we-
adding the unit, but that by state law, what I just asked, he said by state law, that's an ADU. I go, it's wrong. To me, it's wrong.
What, the
It's the
third,
same.
adding the third unit in there, Rob?
Yes,
Is it ADU?
yes.
No matter what the conditions or situation is?
Exactly.
If we-
Whatever conditions, I mean, that's why they're here. They love it.
No, but I'm saying to you, if I was on a 3-decker and I had a unit on the first and a unit on the second and third,
Yep.
and I wanted to convert the third, that's now an ADU?
No, you could do the basement.
You could split that third unit
Yeah.
into 2 units.
But that's an ADU?
It's gotta be in the
That would be an
900,
accessory
right?
dwelling unit if it's accessory to the 3-family.
No, in the building, in the 3-decker.
That's considered accessory.
That's why I don't get either.
Yeah, the occupancy permit still says 2-family. 2-family. It doesn't say 3-family.
It's a 2-family with an ADU, it's
Yeah.
not a 3-family.
Yeah, I believe that ADU goes with the owner. If the owner sells, the next one has to come back, either apply to continue, or they have to do something to, combine the unit or remove that. I believe that's,
Really?
yeah.
Can you clearly show us on the plan what will be green space? Am I to understand the
Well, yeah,
entire
wait a
back
minute.
area?
Let's just talk here for a minute, so we get what we're talking. So a three-family, to me, I could see them coming and saying, I want to put a unit in the basement and have a three-family house. Now, the ADU, they're supposed to have parking, correct?
If it's not within a half mile of a train station.
Right. So they need parking, and then there's not enough room unless we give them another variance for parking. Aren't they supposed to have
Paving.
enough room for parking?
They have a variance for paving, not parking. They have the required.
Yeah, we have the parking meet.
They just want, but they have exceed the paving ordinance in order to get it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you're exceeding, so you're getting something else, correct? So they don't have parking.
They don't have the, right.
Okay.
Okay, wait, one more,
Yep.
one more. What about if they come back to condo though? If they turn them
They-
into a condo instead of a multifamily
The
dwelling?
guideline for that is they are not allowed to condo that for ADU.
You can't.
Yeah.
No,
Unless the logic.
they're not allowed to do it now, but.
Now, right.
So we can't do one without the other.
It's just really, it's like, no, but you're supposed to have parking. If you want to add an ADU, you're supposed to have parking for it, you're supposed to have, you don't have to, now you gotta go get another variance. You go, wait a minute, do you have parking for that? No. No, then, to me, it's just add and. It's not like, it's like going around with the law, and the law stinks the way they did
One
it.
more.
Yep. Oh, I don't mind, I'll
Does the-
stay here all
does the
night.
city-
I don't-
does the city of
This
Quincy
gotta be
change
talked
it?
about.
Does the
Right.
city of Quincy change the zoning regulations to comply with the state?
We can't.
We have to follow the state. Correct.
Right,
So no
but
matter
you
what
can
we
have,
do, the state supersedes any decision that we make.
As far as the ADU, if they have the required parking, they don't. That's why they're here.
So
They-
they
they
have to
don't.
get us, they need a variance for us for the.
she would have had to just go
The
get a
paving.
permit if she
Yes.
had the parking first. But she don't have parking, so that's part of these
Wait, she
rules.
just had to get a permit to put a third unit in if they had the parking?
Yes,
They don't have to come to
no,
us? Oh.
no,
By right.
by right. It's a
Well,
small
sure the-
unit,
sure the
under
fire
900
department's
square
gonna love
feet,
this
is
one,
it? Is it 900, under 900?
900 square feet or about 50% of the,
Yeah, all we're asking is,
Right,
384 square feet of
right.
ADUs.
No, I get it, I get the whole thing, I get the whole thing.
I don't.
It's crazy. No, it's, to me, it don't make sense.
That's what I get, it's
Right,
crazy.
it's crazy, it don't make sense to me, but,
Yeah, Nicole says they have to do sprinkler for that 384 square
right,
feet.
you gotta sprinkle, now you gotta
Yeah.
sprinkle just that though,
Just that,
which is bizarre too.
yeah,
So they start a fire, the people upstairs doing sprinkles.
for the two-family upstairs, that doesn't require
Yeah,
it.
right.
That's per the code.
So,
not-
all right,
it's crazy.
one more clarification.
Yeah.
Anytime that this property transfers,
It's
the
an
person
ADU.
that's in the ADU, the new owner of the property has to come back and get the ADU
For the
approved
zoning,
again.
I believe so.
So the tenant just.
Similar to the in-law.
It doesn't.
Well, the tenant would, right? If it's a tenant. Now, he's gonna live in it?
No, he's the owner occupying that side. I don't think he's.
He's not going to open the basement.
Can you
I
come
like
up
it.
and see?
Turn that around, I'm trying to get
It
help.
doesn't have to be owner occupied either.
No, I know it does. So that's why I'm wondering what he's saying here is owner occupied.
So if the owner sells the property, the
Good
new,
evening.
the new owner has to come in and get the ADU approved again.
no.
No,
No,
I didn't think
Once.
once.
once it's in, it's in.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Unless the state changes the law again.
Now, right, unless they change the law again.
Size of my daughter's
Bless you.
This is a mess in a lot of places. You know, I get it, Marshall, you get big giant lots. I get it. You wanna add a unit, 900 square feet.
They're on all
house,
fours with the
whatever.
law, except for the parking.
Huh?
They're on all fours with the ADU law, except for the parking, which is why they're here.
That's why they're here. They need the parking for the.
Oh, no, I understand. I'm just saying that this is, it's absolutely insane.
It is.
It's the law.
You gotta be careful who you vote for, Charlie.
Well, I didn't vote for ADU.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't have no say
I
in that.
didn't either.
I think we're all set.
So all we're gonna do here is approve a parking spot.
Or
That's what
not.
she needs.
Or not,
Pay
That's
Or
it.
not. She needs
because it's a
variance to put in the
6,700
ADU.
square foot lot, and they're only gonna leave
She needs-
700 feet
She
of
needs a
green
variance to
space.
put in the ADU.
It needs a parking space to
This
go along
front
with the-
yard is
Yeah.
pre-existing green
Correct, so-
space. And we're not paving this area around that.
Can you clearly show me what will be green space on your proposal?
I don't have that, but I can lay it out. I mean, if you don't mind, I show you.
That's fine.
So, oh, that didn't show up. So from there down around this and this area, plus the green of the front, it's existing green space.
Okay, so per the dimensional form, you're showing 700 feet of green space.
Yes,
on a
that's
67
more than that.
On a 6,700 square foot lot.
66.
I'm sorry, you're 6,600 and you're only, approximately how much green space will be left on the lot?
I don't have the number for that, but we don't need a
They're only
variance for
using the
it.
basement, they're not changing or adding anything to the building.
Same foot.
Yeah, same footprint.
But they're paving.
But they're
But they're
paving.
paving, so we're
Oh,
losing green
Well, they were gonna
space.
put like pavers in, sort of.
But
yeah.
still,
Oh, it
we're
is.
talking
Yeah, I see.
black hardtop versus
I get
potential for green
Yeah,
trees,
Right.
shrubs, et cetera.
yeah.
That's the area we're paving. I've changed the color.
Where the
That's
two
the
cars-
area that we're paving.
Just where the two cars are, Bonnie, or where the 20.4 is also?
So this color area are the area that we're paving. This is the two additional spot, one for the visitor and one for the ADU. There's existing two spot right there. The original two spot was on the driveway. That's why there's two driveway, but there's a fence right over here. And this is his yard that he never used.
So you have room for 4 cars now, 2 on each side.
Plenty more than that, but we didn't pay that much.
But I mean, you have 4 now technically.
Yeah.
And you're gonna end up with how many? 5? 6?
Six. So two over there, two
Yeah.
right here, and two right here, 6.
Wow. Okay, thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I ran out, sorry.
So for the cars in the back to get out, they're gonna have to make the two tandems, one of the two sets of tandems move, right?
Right, the two on the side are actually for his unit that he's occupying on the left unit. And the one on the tenant side, which is will be parking in the rear, and then there's the garage.
So the 4 spaces in the rear will use the right side driveway.
Yes. The ADU will also use the rear too. Access from the side, the right, I would say the left side driveway, because the street is on the top.
Yes, okay.
They could spray paint it green and look like it's pretty.
I go through without growing anything, right?
All set?
Yeah.
You can have a seat. Is there, anyone like to speak in favor? First call, second call, third call closed. What is this for?
Those are all the signatures that are in favor of this petition.
Come on. Really? Wow.
27.
Okay.
We'll put this into the record, these people in favor of this petition.
ZBA 2574, 19 River Street. Letters of support from following abutters: John Karen, 20 River Street; Christopher Karen, 20 River Street; Sean Davian, 14 River Street; Kiva Davian, 14 River Street; Huck Lee, 36 River Street; Tran, 34 River Street; Christopher Mann, 42 River Street; Lisa Smith, 41 Edson Street; Alexa Vaith, 815 Southern Artery; Wayne Lee, 45 Edson Street; Pham, 20-4 Abbey Road, Quincy; Loho, Abbey Road; Peter Pan, okay; 83 Raycroft; Michael Pan, 795 Southern Artery; Richard Chan, 67 Edward Street; Thomas Graney, 76 Edson Park; David Calvi, 21 River Street; April Stack, 16 River Street; Judy Rivera, 807 Southern Artery; Joseph Recker, 33 Edson; Swayze Sam, 47 Graham. Jay Lewis, 47 Graham. Karen Hu, 11 River Street. Jamie Curlin, 39 River Street. Tran Lay Man, 42 River Street. Terry Stahl, number 1 Thompson Street. Barry Wood, 23 River Street.
That's it. Thank you. Call upon the hearing closed.
Yeah.
That's from the DPW. Anyone opposed or undecided? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please. Up here.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, and ladies and gentlemen of the zoning board. My name is Chen Si Yao, and I'm the homeowner of 10 Abbey Road. I'm also the trustee of the 8-10 Abbey Road condominium. As you can see from the picture, the 8-10 Abbey Road condominium property is lying horizontally parallel to 17-18 River Street. So the violation of zoning covenant about parking setback, the burden will obviously mostly fall upon the 8-10 Abbey Road condominium. So me and my co-trustee from the condominium will come here to express our condominium unanimously opposed this violation of zoning ordinance. And granted that for their violation, for Tom John's violation of the zoning ordinance, will maximize his profit from his rental, granted that. But we believe that to maximize your own profit is not the appropriate thing to justify a violation of zoning ordinance, especially when such violation negatively, materially impact on the structural integrity of the abutting neighborhood. If the neighbor 100 miles away from here, if the person opposes it based on personal relationship, and I believe this is a professional matter, it's not a personal matter. And also, and I believe that if a person want to maximize the financial profit, is not the legitimate means to justify encroaching upon your bordering neighbor's property, is also not the reason to justify, to vitiate the very intent and purpose of the zoning law. And in this connection, I also wish to alert to the zoning board attention. When I read the online, the public filing, I saw a material discrepancy between Mr. Chan's public representation in the application and the facts. You can see that the plot there, the plot that shows 4-car currently, actually is their garden, because I bought the house 6 years ago. It's been their garden. So in the online application, there was a Q&A saying, have you started construction? Answer, no. That's factually false. From late spring 2025 to autumn 2025, Tom Chan has been excavating the land, the plot where is the whole garden, and not only I saw it, the neighbor, the condominium neighbor saw it. And in fact, we had a direct confrontation, an encounter. I was in my kitchen, as you can see. This is 17-18 River Street. This is 8-10 Abbey Road. So I was in my kitchen. In my kitchen, there's a door just like the glass. I can see right outside what he was doing. He was shaking the fence which separate, the plots of 8-10 Abbey Road and 17-19 of River Street is the uninterrupted stretch of land separated by this fence. And that fence belonged to the property of the condominium. When I saw from my kitchen he was doing this, I went out. All the time I hear all the sound because he was digging things. And I said, he was shaking this fence. I said, Tom, please stop this. You are going to make this fall down. When I said, please stop this, he was doing it. He turned his backward. He used his hand on the spade he was holding and then doing this. I said, Tom, will you please get yourself out of condominium's fence because it's going to fall down. And yes, I saw it. And then I said, what are you doing here? He was taking everything. He said, I'm going to build something. So I think that, and I would like to bring to the board's attention the discrepancy he made the online in his public representation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and zoning board.
Thank you. Someone else speak? Opposed?
Good evening, I'm Pei Shi Lee, and I'm the owner of 8 Abbey Road. Just wanted to share my opposition of the request here of Tom Chan's property. And we have a window directly facing the properties. And if there's any cars entering accident, that would be like light pollution for sure from the headlight glare, and it would definitely affect my tenants' daily life. And then it's going to be noisy for sure. And the other thing that I wanted to share is that I don't really believe in, Tom Chan's maintenance on the property as well, because his plants is always entangled on the fence on our side, and I have to clean on his own too. So just wanted to share my, please kindly consider and reject his request. Thank you.
Now, excuse me, I got a question for you. That fence,
Mm-hmm.
that's your fence?
Yes.
And he was working on?
I don't know, like his plant is always, he has a lot of plants on his lawn, and then his plants is like always entangled with the fence that we
Oh,
have on our side. So we have to, sometimes we have to clean
Detangle
them.
them.
Yes, detangle
Okay.
and cut the branches for him. It was a lot of work because I was the one who's cleaning it. I don't live there anymore, but I have tenants there, and they do a lot of works on lawn, keeping the lawns clean, and then doing a lot of maintenance too. So, yeah, just want to share that information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else like to speak, council?
Good afternoon, Chair, Aikens, members of the board. Richard Ash, 7 Silver Street, Ward 2, City Councilor. As everyone just mentioned, the ADUs are changing, I think, by the day. I'll defer, of course, to you all. Just a note of outreach. I did send the plans to all of the neighbors in the area that I know. I know the area very well. Grew up in it, and I sent the emailed and texted, messaged whatever I could to get the plans around to the neighbors. There was very little feedback. The feedback that I did receive from 2 neighbors was regarding drainage. It's my understanding that those questions were answered. Mr. Chan reached out to that neighbor, and that neighbor let me know that they were satisfied with that response. I think the issue, as you all know, as Member Barry pointed out, is making sure that there's no water, that the water doesn't stand still or go into the neighboring properties. Again, I defer to the board with the decision. Just wanted to make a note of outreach, certainly, and look forward to the decision. Thank you.
Thank you, council. Thanks for coming tonight and hanging in for the night. Last call, anyone? Call it part of the hearing closed. I'm gonna be voting against it. I don't think it's, if you had the parking and it was all there and everything was good and you just needed an okay, then I'd say, yeah, but now we're giving him the unit and that. And his credibility went downhill when the neighbor spoke. So, I'll be voting no.
Concerned about the parking in the back and how people are gonna have egress to the street. And it's a lot of car moving, which could create problems on the street, so I'm not a fan of the way the parking is set up.
And I'm not a fan of paving yards, so I'd be voting against it as well.
I'll be voting against it in light of a concrete backyard. Perhaps in the future, if a detailed landscape plan was presented, showing renderings of what you might make the backyard look like with the additional parking, we would consider it.
Somebody?
My unfamiliarity with what's going on.
Yeah.
And the parking in the driveways got me over.
Yeah.
I guess I'd vote in favor, just to if this is the first thing, I would like to see a landscape plan.
Yeah.
And I agree with the paving over the yards in there, we're losing more and more. And I just don't see units in basements, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you're saying no?
Yeah, kinda, I think I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Would you like to withdraw without prejudice, or would you like a vote? You want to talk about it a few minutes? Relax?
Yeah.
Why don't you go talk to him a few minutes? Why don't we take a 5-minute break? Here we go.
What do we do?
Back in order. Bonnie, what do you want to do?
Good evening. I think the green job, we got about 700 for grass right now, you know? Make any difference?
No.
No.
Doesn't make any difference? Okay, so I think it was, I think the best way we're gonna withdraw it, you know, we're gonna build a garage then, you know, so.
Yeah, we'll withdraw the application.
Okay, can I have a motion withdraw without prejudice?
Mr. Chair, ZBA 2574, Ward 2, Tom Chan for a variance to surpass the allowable amount of paving on a parcel to accommodate parking for the dwelling on the premises numbered 17-19 River Street, Quincy, Mass. Move to allow the petition to be withdrawn.
Second.
On the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Further on,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Look up there.
Yeah, if it good.
Should have the HDMI, right?
CBA 2578, Stephen Spring for variance to construct a two-story right side addition enclosing the existing screen porch at a farmer's porch on the premises 40 Richfield Street in Quincy. Applicant or her rep here. Name and address for the record, please.
Stephen Spring, 40 Richfield Street. I'm the homeowner there.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'll just start. Hopefully you don't mind I read off my phone.
No, go ahead.
I respectfully requesting a variance from the required zoning setback per section 4, TAC 1, dimensional requirements to allow construction of a two-story, 12-foot by 30-foot addition to my existing single-family home, including a front farmer's porch that is an important feature to the design of the project. Our family home resides on a corner lot at 40 Richfield Street at Dundee Road. The proposed addition requires relief from dimensional requirements of a 25-foot setback to 14.9 feet on the Richfield Street side. Also a variance from the
Please.
Also, a variance from the front yard dimensional requirement of 25 feet setback to 7.7 feet on the Dundee Road side. The addition is intended to improve the functionality, safety, livability of our home, maintaining its use as a single-family residence, consistent with the character of the neighborhood. Our home now, as it exists, does not currently meet dimensional requirements on either the Richfield Street side at 19.9 feet setback or the Dundee Road side, 10.7 foot setback. There's a screen porch that currently exists on that side. Additionally, I'm seeking a variance of section 5.1 of off-street parking requirements per ordinance of 3 off-street parking spaces required of the 3-bedroom home. As our home currently is, is a 3-bedroom home with only 2 off-street parking spaces. The additional parking spot can be accommodated in the rear of the home off the Dundee Road side where a gate is currently located in the fence. If parking is included on the Dundee Road side in the back, it will still facilitate the requirements of 40% of the rear yard as per 5.1.4 parking facilitates as said district shall not exceed 40% of the rear yard.
The proposed addition and the porch have been carefully designed and minimize impacts of the abutting properties in their surrounding neighborhood. The scale and the height and the architectural style will consist with the existing home and the nearby residents, and reduced setbacks will not adversely affect light, air, privacy, or drainage. I grew up in this home. I've been here since I was a kid. I purchased a home in 2015 with my wife. We now reside there as a family of 5. Myself, my wife, and my 3 kids. So the addition is basically to accommodate that. Right now, it's single bathroom on the 2nd floor. So we'd like to, in the addition, includes the creation of a bathroom on the 1st floor and increases living space overall. So this is the plot plan prior to the addition. Right now, it shows that the screen porch with the 10.7 offset from the Dundee Road side. And then, as you can see from the street view,
Okay, gotcha. You have no interior drawings there at all? I don't. Anyway?
all in the packets that were included. If you give me Wi-Fi, I can bring them up here. Or I have the hard plans in the back. Is there a Wi-Fi password?
I don't know it.
Yeah, there is no.
For City Hall guests?
We have nothing
City Hall
here,
guest.
like, for a set of drawings on your addition, what's in there?
Is that all the packets that were included?
We only got the renderings.
It should be more than that.
We don't have any of the floor
All
plans.
right, well, it should be in the back.
This is all.
Saying, did anyone else get it?
No.
You have them there, you could show us something? don't-
I do. I mean, I could bring it up here if somebody can give me the Wi-Fi password.
I do.
Nobody's been on the
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi password for City Hall. I'm just automatically always connected.
All right.
Did you have paper renderings?
I do. I have my hard plans.
Yeah, if you could bring them up, please.
Someone didn't know this board.
Huh?
Someone had put the Wi-Fi password in one of the doors.
Oh, really?
I think so. This was looking for it for a while.
What's that? No, I have one. Huh?
There you go.
Oh.
Wow.
Counselors, who knows what's going on there? Newbie.
But I didn't have the Wi-Fi.
You never told us. You never told us none of that secret stuff. Told, don't open the drawers. What's with the big office?
Just an additional room on the 2nd floor. My wife works from home. She's a nurse practitioner at Boston Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
A lot of times she has a flexible schedule, is allowed to work from home.
The kids' rooms are bigger than yours.
Would change rooms.
We're changing rooms.
They don't know. So right now, our 2 daughters share a room on that side where the proposed addition would be, but that would become the master bedroom and they would get moved to the other side with the walk-in closet there.
Yep.
C, 1, 2, H,
Should have made it longer.
I know, right? Hopefully caps lock isn't on.
Anyone want to see these things? They'll show them up there. but-
So it's,
Can we get a set of those like tomorrow morning?
yeah.
No, I just want you to have a set.
So that's the layout as proposed for everyone to see.
Huh? Yeah, he's gonna send it to you.
I'm sorry?
Because you have the
Yep.
paperback, just so we don't forget.
You can send me this interior, this
Take a
the
picture of it.
interior renderings that you're showing right now. I'll print them out and make them part of the file.
Get thrown away
Because I didn't, they never came to me.
Yeah, it wasn't included on the checklist on the variance. I would have put them in there. It said include what you think is important. I just figured the rest of the speaker was up there.
Okay, so if you email that to me tomorrow, I'll just print it out now.
You said you email it to you?
You can email.
Okay,
Please.
no problem.
So your bathrooms would be a full on the second and a full on the first?
Right, so right now it's just a full on the second floor. Originally, the house had a half bath, but I mean, you can't even call it a half bath. There was a toilet in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then when we redid the kitchen, took it out to create space. So now we just have a second floor, full bathroom.
Gotcha.
And with the addition would create a first floor bathroom, allowing better accessibility for our elderly in-laws who are hampered of visitation because my father-in-law can't even do the stairs to get upstairs, so.
So you're gonna be hosting holiday parties after this edition?
I'd like to. I mean, I'd like to be able to open the house to house thing. I mean, we make it work now when we have people over, but it is small.
All right, why don't you go through those?
And then, so this is the view from the Dundee Road side. My neighbor there, where you can see the shingled house, Mike Carey, and then the coffee's right next door. Where that addition falls, it's not in direct eyesight of them. I've already had discussions with them. They have no problem with it. The only people I would say it impedes the view of is our direct rear neighbor, but I mean, view of what, I can't really tell you, and they didn't show up, so I don't think they're that opposed. Let's see what else I got. I have a couple other images, just. Yeah, excuse me. Front view, and then again, that's the lot. It shows the
12-foot addition?
The offset there is, the setback rather, 7.3, as opposed to what was existing there is
You have a
10.3.
gate, you're saying, on Dundee Road? You
Yeah,
have a gate
back here on the,
there?
on this rear section of the fence,
Yeah.
gate wide enough, so I pull my vehicle in there as it is now to get
You
it off
got
the street.
crushed stone in there, or what do you got in there, anything?
I'm, crushed stone,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and, I would like to make it a hot pave in the future, if required especially. I mean, I have no problem creating space and it doesn't impede on that 40% rule.
Right.
But right now, we do have parking for two cars off-street in the driveway out front and underneath, within the garage, so. And then, yeah, that's all I brought for
Anyone have
slides.
any questions?
There you go.
Yeah, it's not fair. Foul.
There you go.
Foul. 5 minute timeout. Any questions?
Questions?
No questions.
Any questions?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
You don't want to put a
You
shade.
can have a seat. Does anyone want to speak in favor?
Put a shade in.
First call, second call,
Nice little.
third call? All that part closed. I got a letter here, we reviewed the above referenced project and have no comments from the DPW. So anyone opposed or undecided? 1, 2, 3, you're out. I'll be voting in favor. It's a beautiful home. It's gonna look very, very nice. You need that space and you're not impeding on anyone where you are, what you're doing with that.
Yeah, it's a good project, good location for it. I'm in favor.
In favor.
In favor, I really like the front porch.
I can't vote against the 3 kids, sorry.
Yeah, see?
It worked.
It worked.
ZBA 2578, Ward 6, Stephen Spring for a variance to construct a 2-story right-side addition, enclosing the existing screen porch and add a farmer's porch on the premises numbered 40 Richfield Street, Quincy, Mass. Move to allow the petition.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
Can I ask you, how's Mike Coffey?
I'm sorry.
Mike Coffey, how's he doing?
He's good.
Good. Tell him I said hello, will you, Charlie O'Brien?
Say the name again?
Charlie O'Brien.
Charlie Brown, hold on.
Yeah. K GRIFFIN at queensma.gov. Thank you so
I'll
much.
send you.
Steve, good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Don't forget your
luck.
paper versions, honey.
Further on tonight, ZBA 2579, James LaFleur for a variance to erect an 8-foot fence within the property line. Counselor, did you want to say anything on the record? I'm sorry, I just looked, I thought you were this one.
No, you didn't need me for the last one, and you may not need me for this
Wants to put an 8-foot fence within the property line, 73 Ocean Ave. You have the floor. Name and address for the record, please.
Okay, James LaFleur, 73 Ocean Ave, the property owner.
Yep.
So I came tonight to ask for permission to put up an 8-foot fence. The fence that's there now is an old wooden fence. It's probably from the early 90s, and we think it's owned by the house behind me at 23 Sonoma, but no one really knows because it's been there for so long, and
Right.
we all changed houses. I've been there for 10 years.
Right.
The house, that fence is falling down. I rebuilt the cap on it during COVID. I've cleaned it up. I've painted it. 2 years ago, I offered to put a new fence up. I offered to pay them the money, take the fence down, put a new fence up,
Yeah.
just making it 6 feet. The owners of the 23 Sonoma have said no. They don't want that fence coming down, thinking it's their fence. We don't really know, again, whose fence it is. It's literally right on the property line.
They want that fence?
Yeah, they want that fence there. The fence violates, it already has sections that are over 6 feet.
Yeah.
It also has Gothic posts that stick up. And the elevation of their house is higher,
Right.
so their deck looks right into our backyard. So I think the right solution is, and they do want a free fence. They made that very clear. They were excited about the fact that someday they would take down their old rickety fence and they would have a nice brand new fence that I would pay for.
So you're gonna pay for this,
Yes, yeah.
and are they gonna take that down, or you?
I think they're gonna keep it there until they're ready.
Oh, wait, really?
If you saw the fence, sir, you'd be like,
I did see
okay,
it.
it's part of the fence on their left side of the property is already falling over.
Yeah.
Their yard is full of construction debris. That house has
know.
been under construction.
I
I had
know.
to call the city and Bruce Nab about people urinating in the backyard
Yeah.
because they didn't get a porta potty when they were doing construction. There's propane tanks just laying around the backyard. There was a pile of construction debris that it was supposed to be in a dumpster, was not in a dumpster, was there for a year. So we're trying to block some of that out.
All right, so you're gonna put 6 on both sides.
I already did the sides.
And now
This is
you're
just the
gonna
back.
put the 8 in
Yeah,
the back.
8 in the back, just to help with the elevation and the block, to give
When I
more
saw that,
privacy.
I didn't know if you were gonna put, like, change those to.
No, those I did 2 years ago.
I saw 'em.
Yep, I replaced them 2 years ago, and they're good
But I
fence.
didn't know if someone's bothering you down there, I don't know.
No, I just think the right solution
Someone
is
peeking in?
the right solution is to block that fence and to give better privacy.
You don't have to look
Is
at
to
it.
spend the extra money
I
and get
get
an
it.
8-foot fence. I'll use Canton fence, which is what I went to last time. They make great fences. I'll have a local guy here, Enda Earls, great contractor, put it in, and we'll do it in the spring, and it'll be done, take care of.
Any questions?
What's the span of the fence you're gonna put in?
It's about 90 feet. It's basically yeah.
Goes the length of the whole.
Goes the length of it. I mean, I thought about maybe could I do 6 feet and then go 8 feet in other sections, but I think just keep it the same all the way down. I think my wife would be like, that's gonna look awkward.
No other question.
I have no questions.
No questions.
Yeah, I'm all set.
You can have a seat. Counselor? You're the only one here. Can't ask for no one else.
You're the audience.
No one's reached out to me opposed to it, so hopefully this is easy and we can all go home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, do you have anything to say about the stuff in the backyard? I mean, there's a lot, sounds like there's a lot of debris. Okay,
I'm gonna be voting in favor.
I'm in favor as well.
In favor.
In favor.
Likewise.
Can I have a motion, please?
ZBA 2579, Ward 6, James LaFleur, for a variance to erect an 8-foot rear fence within the property line on the premises numbered 73 Ocean Avenue, Quincy, Mass. I move to allow the petition.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Adjourned 7:55.
Motion adjourned, all in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.